Welcome back to the Deep Dig of Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew, and my other host right over there.
What's up? It's D. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, we have a full audio version. Take us everywhere on the go, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. If you are listening on audio, hop over to our YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe. Appreciate it.
Just to talk on the draft really quick, Warriors pick someone, and I got to look up how to pronounce his name. But Cam Whitmore was on the board falling for the whole draft. What do you think? What was the thoughts as that pick was about to happen?
I knew that they weren't getting Cam Whitmore just because of during the broadcast of the NBA draft, they were saying like the reason for Cam Whitmore tanking in the draft was because he had really bad interviews. And then he impressed scouts at the combine, had really good workouts there. But his individual workouts did not go great. So I already knew, just based off of the Warriors' track record, they are not going to take a low effort guy who doesn't really care about basketball as much as the rest of the team. And so if that's the vibe that Cam Whitmore was giving off, they were not going to do it.
So Warriors with the 19th pick draft Santa Clara's Brandin Podziemski. So another guard to add to the team. I think that's like our 7th guard on the roster. I know we have like Ryan Rollins waiting in the wings. They were talking about bringing up Lester Quinones, who spent a lot of time with the team last year, giving him some minutes. And then obviously we have GP2, CP3, Clay, Steph. It's just
guards on guards
when it's like, okay, Cam Whitmore, he has questions, but he's a big body, athletic guy. And what did we get? We were too small, way too small. And I even think Whitmore would fit if we kept Kuminga alongside Kuminga. And man,
one thing is like Steve Kerr will not play a guy he does not trust. And by all accounts, from what we heard in the NBA draft like coverage, a lot of teams just did not trust the guy, Cam Whitmore, to be ready to play and to be like mature enough to handle the NBA. And so it is pretty concerning with a guy who was projected to be the number 4 overall pick is dropping like a stone. So and I get where you're coming from. Like, we just needed bodies, but at the same time, like, you can't miss on that pick.
And it's not even that. I was like dead set. We need Cam Whitmore. Like, if we got Keegan Murray's brother there, if we got the kid at Ohio State, if we drafted any center, like, I just wanted size there. And now, veteran minimums, who's coming,
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. It's like, okay, now who are you going to get for cheap? And that's going to be a viable option to maybe, if Draymond leaves, start.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big kicker here. Draymond kind of has you by the balls. Like, he can kind of call his shot and be like, cool. Because if you're the Warriors, like, what are you going to do?
I mean, Kuminga moves up and then...
Steve Kerr doesn't even like Kuminga.
I know, that's the thing. I wouldn't be... I know everyone's talking about, Kuminga now is going to have a greater role. I think Kuminga's getting moved. I mean, don't quote me on that because we're recording this right after the first round of the NBA draft, and something might happen.
Yeah.
In the next couple days, but I think he could get moved, Kuminga.
I'd be surprised. I think they have to wait it out and see what happens with Draymond, and I think that's going to be a key piece, not just for the Warriors, but for a lot of the NBA, depending on where he goes. I think he's going to stay within the West. I'm thinking Lakers if he does move out of Golden State.
Honestly, with this roster construction right now, I wouldn't really care. Like, let's bring in Draymond back. Let's sign a bunch of good veterans, and let's just try to win it next year. Because I'm getting a little frustrated with which guy's going to be the future of the team. Like,
because you drafted a bunch of players. You get those questions when you draft all these players, and then you prop them up. Oh, yeah, we drafted Moses Moody. This is awesome. We drafted James Wiseman. Look at what he's going to turn into. Mm-hmm. We drafted Jonathan Kuminga. He's awesome. And they show flashes. But you don't play them. You do not. So, like...
Even going back to, like, a Nico Mannion, where I was like, I think this kid has a lot of potential, and he looked good. And
then you shelf him.
Yeah. And then he went and played in wherever, his country, Italy. Spain, Italy.
Yeah.
And yeah, him and then Jordan Poole, where it's like, man, Jordan Poole could be the future of this team, and then Kuminga could be the future of this team. Wiseman could be, and it's just like, why don't we just focus on the now? We know we're not gonna like take away minutes from Steph and Clay and Draymond, so let's bring in Chris Paul to run the second unit, and let's bring in some veterans. Like, why not?
We'll just see how it shapes out. I think Chris Paul's going to be unhappy.
It's feeling
I'm
like
gonna be honest.
it's feeling like an awkward roster. It's feeling like that year where Clay was hurt and it was like a bunch of like Willie Cauley-Stein and Eric Pascal and things like that, and it's gonna be like last season where we just run out of steam.
Well, look at like what Chris Paul does. He's a slow, methodical, I'm going to pick you apart point guard. That's not what the Warriors fucking do. The Warriors want to get up and down the court. They want to create chaos. They want to actually look at Steph. Steph runs around crazy sets, and then immediately, as soon as he gets the ball, he's letting it off. Klay Thompson, as soon as he gets the ball, he's letting it off. Chris Paul just doesn't fit in with that. But we'll see. Again, he leads in he's a very good, point guard when it comes to that. He's gonna have some of the best shooters around him. Maybe it's gonna fit, but who knows?
Let us know in the comments. How do you think the Warriors draft went? I mean, I'm not knocking that
the pick, Brandin
Podziemski. I got to remember the name.
Podziemski.
I'm not knocking him, but it's just like, man, another guard.
Could have used some more size.
Any size. But let us know in the comments what you think about Podziemski, what you think about passing on Whitmore. Really quick, let's talk about golf.